Welcome, 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 folks. Here we are back again with our second week of Apex Legends matches through Esports Ohio. I'm Coach Walt. I'm going to be broadcasting Lobby C today, and let's see how our teams do on Stormpoint. All right, here we go. We're going to see just a moment what the legend picks are going to be for this week. We'll also, just shortly after that, be able to take a look and see what POIs folks are dropping at. And here we go. This is our lobby today. Some new faces. We're shuffling lobbies each week. Let's take a look and see what the legend picks are going to look like. Interesting mix, quite some variety. We do have a couple Valks. We got a couple, quite a few Lifelines, a couple other supports. Now we're seeing some more Valks pop in. Valk's still pretty strong this season. And then rounding out our rosters, just to see the mix, we've got a few Bangalores, a couple Gibbies, some interesting team comps. We'll take a look here in just a moment at where our teams are landing so we can get a sense of what this map's going to look like. And here it is. So we have way up at the top of the map, Middletown A dropping at Zeus Station. Just next to them at Elrod is McLean. We've got Beaver Creek taking command center right here in the middle. Sanex B here dropping at the wall. All the way over at North Pad we have Lakota. Lynchburg Clay just over there to their southwest at Downed Beast. We've got Middletown here very close to Fairmont. Middletown taking Mills. Fairmont at this tiny little POI here. Waverly has both Barometer and C-Note Cave all to themselves. Sanex A way to the south, complete opposite side of the map from their Team B brethren. We've got here in the middle of the map, Goshen B at this tiny little POI on the zip lines here. Goshen C just next to them here, getting this POI here in what we used to call Jurassic, but now is a little bit different. Pylon here for Indian Hill. Goshen A all the way to the southeast at Devastated Coast. Just north of them, we've got Buckeye Local at Launchpad. Some early potential fights here. Goshen B could potentially look at Beaver Creek or look at Goshen C. We might see some fighting here between Middletown and Fairmont. In fact, it seems like Middletown's pushing out, so they might have that happen soon. Up here in the north, Middletown A and McLean both might run into one another here at this tight POI. Let's jump over to Middletown B here and let's see. It looks like they're already trying to take a look. They know from drop that someone's at this POI. They're trying to take a look and see. Multiple players on this player's screen right now. So it's going to be Middletown B walking up here versus Fairmont.
Mira, someone's out there. They're far.
The Octane a little bit split from his team right now. Kind of looting. They're very close behind though. He's looking to pick up some of the loot that Fairmont might have left when they went for that bin. Let's see, closest enemy we can swap to here. Here's Fairmont. Kind of blissfully in their own world. Don't seem concerned. Don't seem to be aware that they're there. So we might easily see some potential fighting happen.
Shield battery here.
Mira, someone's out there.
Yep, and we do have Middletown walking up on them.
Ultimate is ready.
The Gibby walks into the open, but is able to get away with it a little there. Uses the dome to reset. Middletown now trying to get some damage. Not managing to do a ton of entry here, although they're still going to go ahead and push this. Padding in off the Octane pad. Octane, an interesting choice for this composition. They managed to get a knock onto the Gibby. That's going to make it a lot harder for this team to reset. Good damage done against the Lifeline, but she also gets the trade, so we're going to have our Horizon go down. They get the full finish on the Horizon. Bang tries to push that, and they manage to take it out, so Middletown B is going to eliminate Fairmont. While they collect the loot and they get their Horizon back in the game, looks like Fairmont was able to get at least a little KP out of that. Let's take a look and see. Oh, we have quite a pileup happening here. Goshen B running into the other Middletown squad, it looks like. Well, no, Middletown is up at the top here. Middletown A. Goshen B doesn't seem actually aware of that squad. We might have missed a fight. It looks like Goshen B here looting some boxes. Yeah, while we were watching that fight between Fairmont and Middletown, it looks like we actually had an elimination. That was going to be Beaver Creek, it looks like. So that Goshen squad did end up pushing towards the north. They did manage to make their way to Command Center, and they took out the Beaver Creek team here. Middletown A, though, now dropping down. And immediately popping back up, triple white shields, and they see another team down in the low ground here. Goshen B, though, doesn't seem super aware that they're there, so they decided not to take that fight right at that moment. Goshen B here still just looting up.
Zipline here.
All right, Middletown A drops down. Let's see what they decide to do. Middletown A getting some grenades out. The Octane now finally dropping. Really good grenade damage here done. Really good. They managed to get 2 knocks, so it's just going to be the Octane up. He looks to get out. Trying to figure out where to go. Is Goshen going to chase? They take the zip line up. One of them is at least chasing. The Valk is looking up. They're going to chase that Octane for a bit. In the meantime, let's take a look. We do see some other fights happening in the kill feed here. Let's see who we're running into. We've got some shots being traded here, it looks like, between Lakota and Lynchburg. They're at least looking at each other, although maybe they're just kind of coexisting. Waverly, looks like, has run into that Middletown squad. So fresh off of that fight, and they do manage to get actually a full kill onto the lifeline for Middletown B. They're going to run out here. Waverly pushing ahead, trying to find them. The other teams running into one another. It looks like that Octane for Middletown playing small here, right underneath, just kind of hiding from McLean High School, who is still over here looting at the Stormcatcher. And now here, Goshen B, meanwhile, pushing up, manages to run into that squad. We're seeing some aggressive play right now. McLean, though, using those marksmen, trying to hold their angles, trying to get some damage. Still triple white shields compared to the triple blue that we have from Goshen B. Goshen B gets some good entry damage. Kind of their decision of what they're going to do here with this fight. We've seen them play pretty aggressively. They're going for the zipline, so yep, they do decide that they want to push this. The Valkyrie is hard committing, but she is taking quite a lot of entry damage here. She gets into that fight, but it's not super clean. If we take a look, there's a full knock, or a knock rather, onto the Bloodhound. Teammates trying to hold the roof. The lifeline decides better to live and fight another day. Gets out. Goshen B does see them, but they are, at least at the moment, going to let that lifeline go. She may be able to get a reset down there. While Goshen B cleans up and gets the full finish on those 2 kills, let's see who else might be running into one another. Waverly here, now once again running into a couple other teams. We have Lakota, we have Waverly, and then we also have, I believe, if I zoom in here just a little bit, we had one of our final Middletown B players here, but it looks like he might have just gotten taken out. Lakota playing pretty split here versus this Waverly squad. Waverly, something that we saw a bit in match 1, tends to be pretty aggressive when they're ready for it, but also pretty disciplined. We have not seen them sort of blindly ape. We have not seen them break formation as much, whereas this Lakota team kind of split up a little bit here, running in a few different directions. We see one knock. The lifeline goes down. Let's watch from the Waverly's perspective. Sheila comes out for a split second. They are going to take that Wraith portal. The Wraith wisely uses Q and decides to get away. So Waverly, at least briefly, is going to live and fight another day. Now, meanwhile, this Waverly team pushing up here, now running into LCHS, Lynchburg Clay High School, who is actually very split right now. They're going to have to rally back together here so they don't get picked off. A lot of damage on the horizon, but she does manage to get to her team, so they're going to have a much more fortified position here. Waverly, though, not one to slow down. They see the advantage. They're going to take it. The Revenant is in there. He gets a little bit of damage. Decides to push the low ground, finds that horizon. They're now in the bottom. They are pretty strong. They've got one knock. They take some damage, and that's going to be it. They take out Lynchburg Clay. So this Waverly squad playing quite aggressive. Let's take a look here at some other fights that may be happening. We've got Middletown A and McLean High School. So this is actually that Middletown A squad that managed to reset. The Octane who got away has gotten both of his teams back in the game, or his players back in the game, although right on top of McLean High School, so we may see some fighting happening right here, right now. McLean spots them just a little bit before Middletown spots them. Although, good damage coming out here. They get a knock onto the Bloodhound. Very low. They get a knock onto the lifeline as well. And the Wraith does manage to get a knock, but a little bit lost. Yep, she's going for that clone, and she is taken out. So that's going to be McLean taken out by Middletown A. Goshen B here once again playing aggressively. We have a rat actually from Lakota right underneath them, trying to play quiet. They don't see her. They don't know. They're looking. They're searching. Ooh, I would not be moving right now. Okay, she gets into even a little bit more of a hidden position. Ooh, that is a little bit tense. Goshen B gonna rotate away. They don't spot her. The Wraith there does manage to get away, and then meanwhile, walking up in the back, it's gonna be Saint XB pushing up onto that Goshen B squad. They've got the Mirage low. They've got a knock onto the Revenant. They're going to knock the Maggie. Mirage tries to rotate away, but they do manage to snag him off of the balloon. Right away, though, we've got Waverly High School here. Sees that fight, tries to third party. If Goshen B is going to be able to reset quickly enough, they're in a pretty defensible position here, but they got to get out. The zone is about to come. If they have Valkyl, now would be the time to pop it. Let's take a look, just a quick second here. I know we see some fighting happening, but let's see what the zones look like. Playing for positioning here, we've got Goshen A holding the height on this barometer tower. It's going to be our end zone here. Let's see here, just to take a sneak peek at where it's going to go next. We've got Goshen C holding down the little nut building here. Playing small. Got it fenced up. Goshen B now flying in. They took a good amount of damage off of Waverly getting that Valkylt off, but they do manage to go. They're going to have a pretty easy spot setting up now, but they could be pushed or looked at by some other squads. Lakota now, that rat who was just barely escaping from Goshen B, looks to craft and get the reset. Meanwhile, let's take a look here. Middletown B and Middletown A right on top of one another. It's going to be a bit of a stack up between Middletown squads. Meanwhile, Middletown B pushing up aggressively here onto Waverly. Let's take a look at Waverly's perspective. Again, aggressive. We have the Rev, as we've seen a few times in this game, leaping in. He gets the one clip onto the horizon. Middletown A now underneath. Waverly now looking at this team. He throws the Octane CAD. He says, I might need this in a second. Doesn't manage to get it off. Third for Middletown A now. Sitting, trying to play quiet, but they do spot him as well.
Enemy here.
Meanwhile, let's see. That Middletown B squad, the Octane runs away. Middletown A, they've got a solo running away. Waverly managing to essentially cripple both Middletown squads in one go. Lakota holding a pretty strong spot. Goshen C, though, actually picked their spot pretty well. They do not have a lot of KP. They haven't done a lot, but they are playing smart. They've got the Watson fences. They've gotten set up. They have the best spot in zone right now if they can hold this nut. Although Goshen B, again, very aggressive here. They're going to be looking to find a place that they can play, a place that they can exist as well. So they could potentially be a bit of a threat here. Goshen A now going to have to move. Figure out where they're going to go. Look for the walk-in. Both they and St. X A moving up at the same time here, so we may see some action happening. St. X goes for the Valk ult. There they go. They take off as that duo for St. X. Goshen walks up through the middle here of Barometer. They're going to have to find a safe spot. Not a lot of cover going to be on that side from where they're playing, just purely because of where zone's going to pull. They're going to be a little bit in the open. Let's take a look here. Lakota and Waverly now on top of each other. Waverly has played this very aggressively, but now that aggression may be coming back to bite them. If they don't get into zone, they're going to have a really hard time here. They're about to be taking a ton of damage, and I think they realize it too, because now they're off. Still fighting a little bit versus this Lakota squad. They're going to try and play here off these rocks. They do go ahead and burn the lifeline ult. Not sure if I would have used that there. That seems a little bit early for that ability. They do have some cover on this. They may wish that they had that. Now, meanwhile, they're trading some shots here with that Goshen squad who pulls out in the front. Again, not a lot of cover on this area that they can play. They've taken up a position here on the bridge. Doing decent damage, actually, here. Lakota now has 2 knocked, one full finished, 1 knocked, rather, I should say. And the lifeline going to actually kind of play as a rat here. Going to try and get a little bit behind Waverly and sit behind these rocks. Although now, this bang ult forcing Waverly to retreat may end up spelling the end of that rat for Lakota as well. Anybody else fighting? Let's take a look here. Goshen B fighting with St. X. That Valk ult from St. X got them into zone, but now they just end up landing right on a full team of Goshen B. Goshen C now, meanwhile, from the building, still in zone, still kind of has this god spot, picking their shots very carefully. They are going for placement, and they are set up to do it. Going to be very hard to push this team off of their spot, and now all 3 Goshen teams looking at one another. Goshen A manages to sneak up behind Goshen B, and Goshen B is not one to go down easily. They turn on them, and they immediately get a ton of damage. That's going to be Goshen A eliminated. They did pick a good moment for that push, but Goshen B was ready. The insta-turn, they're getting their Valk back up. Lakota still a rat here in the back. We can take a look and see. Playing quietly, tries to get banners, might be able to pull something out here. Waverly, though, going to be looking around, and they spot her, so they're going to be looking to get that KP. Should probably be a pretty easy cleanup in a 3v1 here. They managed to take it out, so now it's going to be Lakota. It's going to be a 3v, well, looks like a 3 here, but they're taking some damage here from this St. X squad in the back. So it's going to be, as our final zones start to close here, Goshen A holding down Goshen C rather holding down the nut building. Goshen B playing aggressive, pushing up, playing under them. And then we have Waverly now doing damage from a distance. Waverly actually maybe helping Goshen C a little bit here. If Waverly and Goshen B both fight each other outside this nut, it's going to be pretty hard for either of them to manage to push this Goshen A squad off. Waverly takes a knock here. That's going to be Goshen B getting a knock onto their rampart. That's going to take away some much-needed stability in this very open zone. They get a knock here. They work on getting the res off, but they do get the full finish. And it is going to be Goshen B fighting with Waverly here. Revenant barely surviving that. It's going to be 2 up. It's going to be, I think, a 2v1. 2v1 currently, yep. It's the lifeline versus our Valk and our Bangalore for Goshen B. We'll watch this fight outside. Looks like at this moment, yeah, underneath they're hiding quietly here. Lifeline did get the res, but they managed to get the Valkyrie low again. Meanwhile, on the inside, it is still Goshen A. One knocked in there. And they decide, with some good entry damage, they decide this is the moment to push that Goshen A squad. Or that Goshen C squad, I should say. And that's going to be it. We see Goshen B take out their fellow teammates of Goshen C. Goshen C managing to survive into second place. Waverly fighting strong, but just barely getting taken out in that melee right there at the end. Goshen B is going to take it in match number 1. We'll be back in just a few minutes for more action on Storm Point. Just coming back for a quick moment here for a brief score update. Let's take a look here. If we hit the refresh button, we can see in first place after match 1 is Goshen B with a commanding performance, taking first with a 20 bomb, 21 kills. Waverly High School in second with a also highly impressive 15 kills. Goshen C manages to make their way into third place. Not a lot of KP, but they do manage to rack up that placement points to come in third here. We've got St. X A in fourth, Middletown B in fifth, followed closely by Middletown A in sixth, Lakota coming up in seventh, Goshen A in eighth, Buckeye Local in ninth, St. XB in 10th. We've got McLean High School in 11th, Fairmont in 12th, Lynchburg Clay in 13th, Indian Hill in 14th, and Beaver Creek rounding us out in 15th. But we have 2 more matches to go. We will be back in just a short bit. And here we go. We are coming back again with more Apex Legends. Sorry for the slight delay. Some minor technical issues here, but we think we got them mostly resolved, and we are ready for match number 2 here on Stormpoint. We've seen quite a bit of how these players tend to approach the game. Waverly playing aggressive, looking for poke damage, and then charging in. Goshen B aping somewhat mindlessly, but managing to survive off of it. Let's see how our teams do. Team comps coming in here as we get set up. We've got a few Bloodhounds, which is interesting. Some scans coming in. Quite a few Valks again. Quite a few Bangalores and Lifelines, as we saw in match number 1. Here we go. Let's take a look and see how it goes. As our teams drop in around the map, we can take a look and see we have here quite an interesting different distribution this time. Goshen A landing mostly isolated here at Stormcatcher. Fairmont High School landing over here all the way at this tiny little cliffside POI. Goshen B getting wall to themselves. We've got Middletown B this time over on North Pad. Goshen C getting down Beast. Lynchburg Clay High School gets Mills, and really the whole southwest side of the map to themselves. Beaver Creek at Barometer. All the way to the south, we've got Lakota here at Coastal Camp. Middletown A right next to them at Echo HQ, right next to Waverly High School here at Devastated Coast. Already looking to walk up towards Buckeye Local here, it looks like, at the launch pad. We've got Indian Hill here at Pylon. St. XB right in the middle of the map here. And then we have McLean High School over here at Cito Station. Cascade with St. XA as our final team here right in the middle of the map. Cascade Falls at the little town. Some early action that we can expect. Waverly already getting aggressive on Buckeye Local. We may see St. XB run into a few of these teams very nearby. Those are probably the early actions I would look. Goshen A, if they're aware, if they were paying attention as they loaded in, may look to charge at Fairmont High School and potentially get some early KP as well. Let's take a look and see. Let's see what Goshen A is walking over there. Let's see what they're doing right now. We may swap over to Waverly High School in just a minute.
Let's go that way.
Goshen A does decide to walk up. They take a peek around. They are looking for that Fairmont school. They're not going to find him, though. Fairmont decides to run up the hill. They will pretty much have the entire north side of the map free if they want to just run around and loot. Let's take a look here. Waverly now. Walking up, we saw them play pretty aggressively, look for poke damage, and then charge in match number 1. They're kind of doing the same thing here. Buckeye Local, though, answering, matching them a little bit here. They don't see him on the off angle here. They don't see the Bangalore taking this flank. They do manage to spot the two running up the hill now. They get the knock onto the Pathfinder. Some good damage from that Bloodhound. Trying to protect his friend. It's going to be very tough, though. This is a wide open spot. They're almost certainly going to be able to get this thirst. There we go. The spray and pray manages to get the full fin onto that Pathfinder. Bloodhound and Wraith pulling back just a little bit. It's now a 3v2. Waverly pretty much full health as they chase this down.
Open supply bin over here. Contact.
Buckeye Local pulls back.
Contact with target.
Waverly still walking up. Let's take a minute to peek at the map because we do see that there's some other stuff happening around here.
I leveled up and
there we go. We see the Rampart pull out the Sheila, and she does manage to get a knock. And there it is. They do chase down that Buckeye local squad, and they do manage to get the full elimination. Let's take a look at the map and see who else is about to be starting some beef. Really, everybody's kind of coexisting at the moment. We've got most folks in here. Have we missed any fights? Nope, that's just our first one. Nobody else eliminated just yet. Goshen A here. Fighting some prowlers. We've got some PvE happening. Let's take a look. Lynchburg Clay walking up here, but just next to them we've got Middletown. Middletown B, I should say. They do see each other, so we're going to see some fighting happening. The triple take shots come out. Some good early damage. And they managed to get a knock from a distance there with the marksman. That's great entry damage. They're going to charge in. The octane pad comes out. They managed to get a knock onto the Valkyrie as well. It's going to be that Mirage as a solo for Lynchburg Clay. Running away, retreating. They do spot him as they're chasing him down. They get good damage. Very, very low there. And that's going to be it for Lynchburg Clay. Meanwhile, we actually saw some action happening in the kill feed. Indian Hill was taken out. Did not fully spot who by, but we can take a look and see here. Goshen A and Waverly now looking at each other here on the opposite sides of this choke right next to launch pad. Goshen A walking out. Bang ult, locked and loaded, ready to throw. They've got the Rampart walls and the Sheila set up there. Revenant decides to go left, whether he's looking for an off angle or just trying to rotate away. Looks like this team... Yep, they decide to pull away. The Valk stuck a little bit on her own. Very, very low. This is pretty dangerous for their Valkyrie. Let's take a look at the Waverly perspective as they look to push this. They're trying to get the height. They saw him run, and this is absolutely a team to chase him down. Although they may not actually be sure where they went. Yeah, they think they went that way, but they did manage to lose them, so Goshen going to be able to get away at the moment. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Giant pileup happening here. We've got Middletown B fighting. Beaver Creek now eliminated in the middle of this mix-up. Goshen C walking up here. Grab some supplies. Middletown B with one down. Right next to this fight, we've got Lakota looking over the whole POI here, taking some shots at both that Middletown and that Goshen team. Two knocked on that Middletown squad. The Octane, once again, going to be running away. We saw this in the last game. He is going to be able to get out as Goshen and Lakota now start looking at one another. Some good damage from the Valk. She's going to be one shot as they go to get away, and she's not able to get it off. They're going to be stuck here. Good damage, though, but it is going to be a 1v2 now, I think. Yep, 1v2. Oh, the fence comes out, but just a little too late. Not a bad plan to try and fence up there, but they do manage to take her out. And we have lots of teams fighting right now. We've got Waverly putting down strong damage here versus Middletown. I think we have a Goshen B squad who's kind of been running around the map a little bit, and we've been missing most of those fights as we've been watching a few other teams take each other on. They get the full finish here, Waverly onto Middletown, and they almost get the knock onto the lifeline. They're going to push that. Revenant jumping in. Not a lot of health left. The Revenant's going to go down, but he gets the trade. Now it's going to be a 2v1 situation, and Waverly's going to come in. Good damage, and they do manage to take out that Middletown A squad. They're going to get the reset. They're pretty alone on this side of the map, so they're going to be able to do that. Now, Goshen B, I think they've been running around, and we've just kind of been missing what's happening. Let's take a look and see. They are now taking a look at this Lakota squad. Lakota, peeking down from the height, was in a pretty good position for a while for these fights. Now Goshen trying to hold them out. And they're going to run right into Middletown B as Lakota looks to get back there. The Wraith portal ends right in the open here as Middletown gets some free easy damage here onto that Lakota squad. Although I say free, not quite free. They managed to get the knock onto the lifeline here. She gets ult down, but that's just going to let them walk up a little bit faster as that Middletown B squad pulls back. Lakota's going to walk through the door. Lakota has one knocked as well now. The Maggie Q comes out. Now Lakota is in a bit of a tough spot. They have to make some decisions here. Their back is to zone. They have at least one team waiting to hold them out. Middletown B does have one down, but they are at least out of the storm. Both of them, though, I think maybe in a tough spot. Goshen B decided after that fight, hey, we think we know where they're going to go. There's not a lot of options. If they go this way, they're going to come back here through Jurassic, and we can just be sitting here waiting. So I think that's probably what we're seeing. Actually, a bit of a rat play happening here. Middletown B does manage to take out that Lakota team. Again, that is the power of having your back to the storm versus being in zone. Middletown B walking up now. They are a duo. And there's Goshen. The rat play not quite working because they're just a little too impatient. They do manage to get out, though. Good damage down onto this Maggie. She's gonna die to zone. Meanwhile, the Octane pulling back, taking that storm damage. This is a pretty tough zone. Round 3 storm. Goshen B is looking for it. They decide it's not worth it. It's one in zone. They can pull back. Better to get a guaranteed spot. Meanwhile, Goshen A quite far away here, going for some scans and then deciding where they want to go. Saint XB, here's what the map looks like right now. Waverly holding down these rocks here. Not a very defensible spot, but they are in zone right in the center. The only issue that they're going to run into here, yes, they're a strong squad. Yes, they're aggressive. But if they are sitting here in the middle of multiple teams as they collapse, that's not going to do them a whole lot of good. They push up as Goshen B tries to get out of the tunnel. Goshen B getting some good early damage onto the lifeline. That's both taking one out from their team and is going to remove some of their reset ability. Very oppressive damage coming out. The Revenant leaps out. He's going to be 1 HP. He gets the bat off at least. But they are leaping on him, and it's going to be a 3v1. And that's going to be it for Waverly. We've got Middletown B, once again, this Octane as a rat. Now Fairmont High School looking over. A little bit of an armor disadvantage here. They want to push this fight onto Goshen B. They have an opportunity here, but it is triple blue versus triple purple. The Bang ult comes out. The nades come out. Fairmont playing this pretty smart here, forcing them out of their position. Fairmont gets some good damage down onto Goshen. But again, that armor advantage is pretty strong. They take the height on the rock. Good damage. It's now going to be a 3v1. Actually, I take that back. It's a 1v1. We've got 2 knocks. It's going to be Revenant versus Lifeline. The Revenant does manage to, and that's going to be it. The nade comes in, and off of that third party, Goshen A is actually going to eliminate Goshen B. Goshen B cleaning up a little bit, taking out Fairmont, getting a good number of kills, but then Goshen A choosing just the right moment. And now, here's what our layout's going to look like. Goshen A, the only team in zone right now, looking to set up, looking to figure out where they can play. This is a bit of a messy zone. The waterfall here, lots of rocks, lots of angles you got to watch out for. Saint XB, meanwhile, walking up. That's going to be our full trio. Actually, both full trios. Middletown B, our Octane does manage to get them back in. Memento Mori, I don't think so. I remember them being alive. They're right here. It's going to be a 3v3v3. Goshen A setting up on top of this building, looking for a spot that they can take up in zone. Middletown B looking to get in behind them, and then Saint X in front of them. Once again, this is going to be a a tough situation if you're in the middle, right? So our Goshen squad does have a strong position, but without a lot of playable spots over here, basically both of these teams are going to collapse on them, and that's what we're seeing. We get a full elimination from Middletown B. They managed to get a pick onto the Valkyrie here for Goshen A, and then they just collapse. They close that up, and now it's going to be, boom, just like that, a 3v3v2. Goshen A, they can play quiet here. They do have a pretty good spot. Saint X B, meanwhile, walking up. They spot that Middletown team. This could go a lot of different directions. Saint X B at an arbor disadvantage. Middletown might be at a slight loot disadvantage. They did just get a reset off, so they're not going to be super equipped. If these two teams fight one another, though, if they manage to kind of take one another out, chip things away, that duo of Goshen may possibly have some work that they can get done as well. We've got the Octane here for Middletown taking the high ground, taking the roof. And he does not realize that he is right on top of Goshen. He walks up and manages to get clipped. The Maggie's going to be low, and she's going to go down as well. Although with Lifeline, there is a lot of potential for resets. They were caught lacking, and Goshen takes advantage. And that's going to be it. Middletown B eliminated by the Goshen squad, who drops down. It's now going to be Saint X as a now a solo. I think this might be a 1v1 for the win here. Good damage coming out by that Saint X Maggie. She's going to be facing off against the solo Rev here. Now with the Lifeline ult coming out, one getting up, they are going to be able to do a bit of resetting here. Goshen as the Revenant, much less ability to reset. So it is going to now be a 3v1 for the top spot. The zone is ending here, so on the height, Revenant is going to be able to sit. Don't know if that was an intentional drop, but the Revenant does drop down on and get some good damage onto the Rampart, but is going to take some damage as well. And that's going to be it. Saint XB in the 3v1 does manage to take out the Revenant for Goshen, and they are going to finish in first place in match number 2. We'll be back in just a few moments with our scores update, and then match number 3 here for Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. All right, let's take another look at scores now after our second match. If we hit the refresh button We don't see any change because I didn't update them. 1 second, and we'll be right back with the updated scores. And that now brings us to our new scores here. If we hit the refresh button, we can see top of the board staying roughly similar. We've got Goshen B in the top spot now, coming in with 13 more kills, finishing pretty close to the top. They do maintain their first place position after the second match. Waverly High School staying in second. Middletown B manages to make it up to third place. We've got St. XB in fourth. Goshen A climbing up pretty rapidly into fifth place, followed closely by Goshen C. We've got Lakota in seventh. Middletown A in 8th, St. X A in 9th, Fairmont in 10th, Buckeye Local in 11th, McLean in 12th, Lynchburg Clay in 13th, Beaver Creek in 14th, and Indian Hill in 15th. We will be back again with match number 3 in just a few short moments. Here we go. We are coming back again for our third and final match of the week on Storm Point. Again, each week we are playing a single map for 3 matches in a row, and then cumulative points from those matches go into the weekly match scores, which will then be used to update league points in League OS. This week, we've seen some interesting performances, some aggressive teams, some smart plays, and now let's close it out again with match number 3. Quite a few teams, unfortunately, had to step away right here at the end of our matches, so we do have a much less full lobby than we did for the first 2. Hopefully, we have quite a few more next week, so we get those strong lobbies each match, but we'll see how it plays out here. All right, here is our lobby again. Not extremely full, but we can take a look and see what team comps are. Interesting variety. Lifeline still quite commonly picked here. Lots of people looking for that ability to reset and res. A couple more lifelines. A decent number of Bloodhounds coming in, which is interesting. Not one of the top scan characters that you usually see right now. And then we do have a few of our Assault Legends, some Bangalores, some Revenants. Here we go. Once again, we can see teams dropping all over the map. If we take a look at our map view, we can see where the squads are starting for this round. We have, oh my goodness, there's a giant hole in the middle of the world. We have nobody center of the map all the way over, basically owning the entire west side. We have McLean High School dropping at this tiny, tiny little POI, but they're going to have everywhere around them to loot as well. Almost on top of one another, down here we have Goshen A at Coastal Camp and Goshen B over here at Echo HQ. Just north of them, we've got Buckeye Local at Devastated Coast. Way up here to the north, we're probably going to see some early action as we've got Beaver Creek here at Zeus Station, Waverly at Elrod. Waverly, my guess is they're going to be looking quite early on to either start peeking Goshen C, start rotating through Command Center towards Lakota, who's landed here, or start pushing Zeus Station for Beaver Creek. They are an aggressive team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go any of those 3 directions, or try and go all of those directions. Over here, we have Lynchburg Clay High School at the wall, and then just outside of them at the Ferrari POI, we have Fairmont High School. Goshen A here walking up on Goshen B. Let's take a look and see. Take a peek. They're the first teams that we see moving. They are going pretty fast here, so let's take a look and see what happens.
Attention, Evo harvesters.
They walk up. They're crouching. They're trying to be sneaky. They don't see anybody just yet.
Enemy over there.
The Goshen B squad does spot them now. Some shots going down, at least a couple connecting, and that's some quick damage there. We have the Revenant being very, very low for Goshen B. That's going to be tough. They have been the aggressive character for that team. Good damage coming out here. Goshen B, though, also doing some good damage. We can see, although Goshen A now getting the reset. It's going to be Goshen on Goshen violence here early in the game. Let's watch Goshen B's perspective here on the high ground. Still fairly low. They managed to get the knock. The Wraith tries to Q away, but she's going to be taken out. It's going to be a 2v1 situation now, although low health here for Goshen B. A 1v1 now.
Cowards die many times before their death. Valiant never tasted death.
Making contact with enemy.
And Goshen A manages to just barely survive and take out Goshen B. Goshen B, a very aggressive team in the first 2 games. In this more empty lobby, they unfortunately go out early, and that is just a tough toss-up as you have one team push onto the other and a very tough fight. Let's take a look at the map and see if anybody else is running into one another. Waverly here right on top of Beaver Creek with Lakota nearby. They're taking a look. Meanwhile, though, let's take a look at this Fairmont versus Lynchburg Clay situation. Seems like they may get into it a little bit sooner. Fairmont here looting. They don't seem actually to be aware that Lynchburg Clay actually playing a little bit of a rat play here. They're playing quiet. They're hiding. Although those pathy grapples, not quite what I would call the rat play. Fairmont spots it. And now they spring the trap. Good PK shots onto the horizon here from Fairmont. The Revenant's going to be leaping in. The Horizon ult comes out, a smart usage. Meanwhile, they're pathy flanking here. Lynchburg Clay manages to get a knock. They're going to have the slight advantage here. Now they get another one. It's going to be a 3v2. Lifeline tries to reset, but she's stuck in here by herself. Pops ult. They are going to push in, though. And that's going to be it for Fairmont. Lynchburg Clay does manage to take them out. But then, meanwhile, right on top of them, it's McLean High School choosing this moment to third party. Not a bad strat, not a bad play, but it looks like they are a little bit split here. Their teammate down here at the bottom, so it is kind of a 3v2. And then Lynchburg Clay not taking as much damage probably as McLean would have liked. They are getting back up pretty full already. They managed to get one knock and the full finish. And that's going to be 2 down. So it's going to be the solo looking to go back and try and find a way to res for McLean High School. Meanwhile, lots of teams here collapsing over on Stormcatcher. Let's take a look and see. We have Goshen C, our more controller-focused team, getting set up with some fences here on Stormcatcher. Right nearby, we have Buckeye Local coexisting kind of in the exact same POI. Lakota actually as a solo lost a couple teammates. I'm guessing that was from the fights up north versus Waverly High School. Who managed to, it looks like, get some knocks and then clean things up here. Looking to reset, looking to craft. Goshen C playing a little split here, though. They're spread out quite a bit. Right now, not a team directly on top of them, but it does make them a little more vulnerable. Lakota just going to be moving a little bit south. Let's watch Waverly here. Waverly, we know, likes to play a bit aggressive. They're pushing in here. Waverly walks up. They do manage to get height. We've seen this in quite a few games so far. They're going to look to get some poke damage here, and then they're going to look to push their advantage. They get some early damage onto that Watson for Goshen. Sheila comes out. She's going to be watching the angles there. And now right on top of Waverly, actually, we have Buckeye Local who chooses this moment. They've been playing quiet in here the whole time around Goshen, and now they spring the trap onto Waverly, although Waverly manages to get one knocked onto that Valkyrie. The Wraith cues. She says, "Get me out of here." We see the Pathy get knocked here by Waverly here. They're going to go for the finish. Goshen C now, meanwhile, still nearby. Doesn't seem to be super focused in on the fight that was just happening on top of them. They got some damage from that Waverly team. My guess would be that Waverly, now that they've cleaned up Buckeye Local, is or broken up rather, Buckeye Local is going to be looking to take this fight. They do have an armor disadvantage here. It is double whites, or triple whites rather, for Goshen, and they get an early knock. We will see the Watson does make pushing this a little bit more difficult, but you can see the Revenant wants it. The Revenant wants to get over there. He wants to fight this. And there they go. The Revenant leaping in. He's on the roof. He gets the re-knock. He gets the second. Where is the final one? She's out of there. Or rather, this is the, let's see, our Goshen C squad. Oh, they actually do manage to get them fully taken out. Thought we had one that got away from Goshen C, but that's going to be it for that squad. Buckeye Local still up here up north, may get a reset. We've got Lakota again as a solo and McLean as a solo. Lots of solos looking to get people back in the game. Our full trios right now are Waverly High School, Lynchburg Clay High School, and Goshen A. Goshen in a pretty strong spot here now. Waverly, a pretty tough, aggressive team. Goshen, similarly, likes to play a little bit aggressive as well.
Let's go this way.
Lynchburg Clay High School now coming through Command Center. Waverly and Goshen both walking up towards Store Catcher at the same time. Let's take a look here. Up on the height, Waverly with their marksmen, their snipers, they're going to be looking, and they do spot Goshen. Let's see what they do with it. They get some early damage, actually do some flesh damage as well. Waverly, in this case, a little more hesitant to push this potentially. Quite a bit of a distance. They don't want to get caught out on the low ground here. If they do manage to get some really good entry damage, though, they may decide that they want to push off. Goshen decides, you know what, let's back up. Let's go over here. We don't have to fight this. A rampart up top with, marksmen and snipers backing her up is a very tough push when they're up on height like they have here. McLean High School manages to get the reset. They are trying to get into zone here. Meanwhile, Lakota looking to do the same thing. Lakota takes the altar TP out, gets back into zone. Now going to try and find a way to do this. Let's watch here. Waverly's walking up. Let's take a look at their perspective. Let's stay on the rev for just a couple minutes here while we see what they do with this.
Got a bad one over there.
Someone's out there. Could be fresh blood over there. We should check out over there.
All right, let's take a look again here at our squads. McLean now back as a full squad. They get to the top of Stormcatcher. They manage to get into zone off of that play. Waverly High School here walking up. Lakota actually has the banners, has not managed to get a reset yet. She's going to go for it, and right at that exact moment, we have Waverly walking up as well, I believe. No, actually, Waverly decides that they're going to take a tower. They're going to try and get a better spot in zone. This uphill zone, a bit of a tough one. Lakota gets the reset off. They do have to move very quickly, though. They're going to be coming in right as zone is closing. That's going to be doing a lot of health damage to this team. McLean High School takes it to the top. They are now fighting with Buckeye Local. Let's take a look at that fight. This is going to be a tough one for McLean. They are at a pretty good armor disadvantage. The Bloodhound goes for it, but they do not manage to get enough damage onto Buckeye Local. Buckeye Local triple blue, but against triple white, that's going to be a bit of a tough one as well. Now Waverly High School walking up. They hear this fighting. They say, we want in. Waverly High School, it looks like, manages to get a knock onto Lakota. They're going to be fighting here on the low ground. And that's going to be it for that Lakota squad. They got back in the game, but then immediately taken out. And they're going to get dropped on by Buckeye Local. Buckeye Local playing aggressive. I like the idea. I like the play. Wait for that fight. Wait for the third party. They are going to be taken out, though. Unfortunately, Waverly was ready for them, and that's a tough fight. McLean High School now, again, playing quiet here, looking to maybe get a reset. It looks like we've got Goshen A as our zones start closing here. Into it with Lynchburg Clay, who's looking to hold them out of zone. We see a much more aggressive comp from this Goshen A team. We have the Wraith, we have the Ballistic, and we have the Lifeline.
We should go that way.
Lynchburg Clay High School just hard staring at Goshen. Goshen's going to have to make something happen here. This is going to be about it. When this zone starts closing, if they are not on the other side of that choke, they are going to start burning. Lynchburg Clay High School gets some early damage. Goshen decides to send it. They are going to be a ballistic, ulted comp here, pushing up. Lynchburg Clay, though, now a little bit in damage of in holding this position for so long. They are going to be having a really tough rotate into zone as well here. I mean, yeah, Waverly here. Lynchburg Clay does manage to take out Goshen A, but now they're up here on the heights, taking some damage as they walk in from Storm. And it's going to be an interesting fight here, where we have Lynchburg Clay on the ultimate high ground, Waverly way over here at the top of the Stormcatcher. Revenant manages to leap over. The Bloodhound has dropped down onto this slightly lower ground here. Almost manages to get him, but the Revenant does manage to reset. So they're going to be able to take out at least one there for Lynchburg Clay. Really good damage there. Double 108 headshots onto both members of the Lynchburg Clay High School from the Lifeline. Listen, they're not going to peek that again, and who can blame them? Oh, I say that. They look like they're getting ready to peek it again. I wonder if the Lifeline on the low ground is saying the same thing. Go ahead, peek it. Peek it, I dare you. Lynchburg Clay a little more hesitant, though. I would be, too, if me and my teammate got hit for a 108 headshot instantly. As the zone starts closing, this is going to be a little bit interesting. Waverly here kind of waiting to see whether or not Lynchburg Clay has to drop down on top of them. Where they're playing not a terribly defensive position. They certainly can make it that way with the rampart walls. And there we go. So we see a Pathfinder ult to get them over into zone. Just like that, even though they are at a disadvantage, the better spot is held by Lynchburg Clay right now. Good damage onto the Revenant here. They are just triple sending it, though. Waverly High School gets a knock onto one. Now they're looking for the final member of this Lynchburg Clay squad, playing their own Lifeline ult against them. The Horizon gets some damage down, but she is flesh. It's just a matter of time, I think, unfortunately. And that's going to be it. Waverly closes it out with a win in match number 3. Certainly going to be a bit of a boost to their points. We will check back in just a couple of moments with scores from match number 3. Thank you for joining us for Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. Alrighty, and let's take one last look at the scores after match number 3. Here it is. Let's hit the refresh button, and we have closing it out, just making it into first place off of that win and the KP from match number 3 is Waverly High School. They're going to finish in first for the week, although just behind them is Goshen B. Goshen A managing to take third place just after that. Middletown B in fourth. Lynchburg Clay in fifth. In sixth place, we have St. X B. Goshen C finishing in seventh place on the week. Lakota in eighth. Buckeye Local in ninth. McLean High School making it to 10th place. Middletown A finishes in 11th. Fairmont in 12th. St. X A in 13th. Beaver Creek in 14th place. And Indian Hill closing it out in 15th place. These weekly scores are going to be totaled up and then added on in League OS to our league point system. So we'll look forward to updating the leaderboards and seeing how things shake out. Once again, thank you for joining us here at Esports Ohio for Apex Legends. We'll see you same time, same place next week for more Apex.